Hi, it's John from System Tech Racing, and I'm just going to show you folks the installation on the rear caliper radiator kit on a 2018 501 Husqvarna. This is a little bit new kit, just a little bit different design on the banjo bolt here where the bleeder connects, and I'll get to that in a minute. First of all, we'll just take this apart. This is all the tooling you need: a 14, a 13, an 8mm wrench. We've got some DOT 5.1 oil here with a syringe that's ready to go for non-silicone based oil. And now let's get started. So all you have to do is break loose the banjo bolt and break loose the bleeder bolt. So there's the bleeder loose, and you see we're already losing some oil. And if you do this quickly and in an organized way, you can save a lot of oil actually. So we're just going to break this loose, and you'll lose some. What we got here is a bleed hose tied on with a little zip tie. There's a loop in there. We'll get back to that. So we're just going to elevate this hose so we don't lose all the oil in the hose. Take out the banjo bolt washer. Take it off the swing arm. Okay, losing a little oil here, but not too bad. Just gonna hook that right there. Okay. The oil is now draining back into the reservoir. So here we go. We're going to take off this banjo. And here's the new trick that Magura worked in. Okay, we take apart our kit, and this is it. Banjo fitting right here in that order. And just gonna install this, and you can see here this new O-ring fits into a gland here, and seals so that when you bleed air, opening this valve, air is not drawn in right there at that thread and then exits as you bleed, and then you as the mechanic are mistaking that air that got in right there. You're mistaking that air for air in your brake system, which is really counterproductive and frustrating. So they solved that. So go get them, Magura. Thanks for that. Here you see the little shallow counterbore. Hopefully you can see that in that radiator. That goes out to the banjo. So all we do is install that like that. Install those new seal washers. Being careful there's no dirt present. Bring the radiator in. Again, there's that little counterbore. There you go. Now you take your last supplied washer right there. Checking to make sure everything's clean here at this gland. Okay. You've removed the cable from the holder here on the swing arm, so the cable's very, I should say brake line's very free, so it'll work with you. Just thread that guy in there. Okay, we've got this kind of thing. Now I'm going to ask you guys to sort of counter rotate this brake line like this, about a third of a turn, a third of a rotation, and then you just take your 13, third of a rotation, and snug it up. Maybe a little less, 5/8 of a turn. There you go. And now tighten it so that that brake line, just let it come around so that it finishes something like that. Better to have it back here than rotating this way in harm's way. There it is. Okay, now you're all oil tight at this point. you can snug this and fill the system with oil. Also, we're going to bring this idea back into play. Got a little drain hose here with a loop in it. Why is the loop in it? The loop is in there so that as you bleed your brakes, the air is coming up, and you can actually get it in such a place where the air is held in that upper area of the tube, and it's helpful to see the amount of air you're getting total, okay? And hopefully it'll cooperate here. Let's see. There we go. That'll work. Something like that. There. Gonna be able to see the air now. So off we go. We fill the reservoir, keeping everything nice and clean. Don't want any dirt in the system. Pump and purge. So you're just going to pump, even though you don't feel any pressure right now, any pedal, so to speak. You just pump and hold and purge and repeat. Now you're already getting lots of oil. I'm already starting to feel a little bit of brake pad movement. You see how fast that's happening? There, now I'm getting brake pad seating on the disc. Pumping, hold, purge, pumping, hold, and purge over and over again. Okay, and I'm already low on oil, so I want to fill that back up. Really got to be aware of the level in that master cylinder. Okay, it's definitely taking up the oil. That means that the air is coming out. Lots of air. Here, now I'm getting the pad. I'm also getting low on oil, so don't forget about the oil. Otherwise, you're just going to have to do it again. Got good pedal now. Also have lots of air. Keeping my eye on the reservoir. A little bit of air left. Still losing oil though. Should do it right now. This should be enough. Got lots of pedal. Okay, now we're going to take a real good look at the brake line when we open. Just really looking for any bubbles. You see tiny bubbles coming out still. And because of that new O-ring in there, we can really have a good sense that that really is air in the system. Okay? So you want to keep going. And then when the last of those bubbles are gone, I'm going to say we're good. No more bubbles. So there you have it. That's how you install the System Tech Racing rear caliper radiator. You can just pull that line off of there and put your dust cover back in place. Okay. Very good. Ready to go to work.